All right, good afternoon. It's August 9th, 2021. We'll call the Human Resource Committee meeting to order. Maybe we'll start at the end. Tom, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself and we'll go right through.
Tom Realm, Alderman, 4th District.
Shane Blazer, Mayor.
Ryan Hartman, Human Resources.
Jay Bemke, Committee Member.
Sherry Evanson.
Sue Schill, City Attorney.
And Dean Veneman is excused tonight. And with that, we'll call the meeting to order. Item number 2 is discuss plan for further COVID-19 policies and protocols in the event they are needed. Ryan, would you like to get us started, please?
Thank you, Mr. Bepke. Just with the uptick in information and regarding and surrounding the COVID-19 and the new variants that are coming, or again, the upticks we've been seeing in the country, not only the country, but also our area now as we start to see it. Just wondered if it would be a good idea to have some discussion on what we want to do as an organization from our perspective, as far as continuing to provide a safe work environment for the employees, while also being able to offer, all of our services to the citizens as well. And rather, if it's possible, it sounds rhetorical, but to try to be as much ahead of the game as we can versus chasing and always trying to play catch up, with this pandemic. So I just thought I would open with that.
So I guess, first of all, do you have any recommendations from the health department right now? Has anything changed?
There have been, from Wood County Health Department, I do have a little bit of information. They were just, again, suggesting to go back to, social distancing as best as possible. I believe they, although it was not necessarily COVID related, made some changes to their employee handbook as far as relating to remote work. The masking, one recommendation was masking for all employees, regardless of vaccination status, when inside at a public, public atmosphere, such as, what we might be in this evening. So in public buildings, masking regardless of status. Again, I know none of us probably want to go down that road, although, again, it's that, there's also a duty that we have to make sure we're doing as best we can. To date, the city, I think we've been doing a tremendous job of providing those opportunities or places and ways for employees to continue to work safely. But I just wanted to hear if there were some on this committee that were looking for other direction or wanted to give more direction, from the HR perspective.
Thank you. Sherry?
I don't believe the county has anything per se as far as employees at this time. I know the recommendation from the Department of Health Services, Wisconsin, recommends wearing a mask in public indoor settings. That's all I have. I don't.
Okay. Mayor?
But you guys aren't at the county courthouse though, correct? Okay, thanks.
Tom, anything?
Yeah, I think, well, I'm glad it's on the agenda, because I think it's better that we would be, especially with the uptick that's been going on and Delta variant that is a lot more contagious than the COVID that we started out with. And I just think that it may be wise that that we go back, that maybe we look at going to a mask and indoor setting type of thing to start with. That's just a thought that I have, so.
Is it? Anything else, Tom?
Do we have any record of how many people have been vaccinated on the city? No. That's basically, I think, because I think this is one of these things, I think that the vaccine, obviously, and the masking up is it's something I think that to knock this thing down, to get a handle on it again, is something that, like it or not, it's something that we're going to have to look at here and around the country. I mean, this thing's not going to go away on its own, and it's without trying to beat it down. It's who knows what this is going to mutate off into, even in some things worse than this is what we're looking at. That's even, can't even say worse, because this is the worst, but mutating more can become worse than what we're even looking at now, if this thing just keeps spiraling out of control. And the mask, I know people don't like it, but if that's it's one of those things that if that can help put a stop to this transferring of the contagious disease, that I think that's a little something for the people to put up with in an indoor setting. I'm not at this point saying necessarily outdoor setting type of thing, but even that, it's going to be, I think, probably some people are going to be talking even about that, and when you're putting 80,000 people in a stadium together, what's going to be taking place too. So it's going to be I think it's something that we should take a look at, and I know we had mayor of COVID, the emergency powers and that type of thing that we had with you and that type of stuff, and I think we should look back, even maybe go into with that too. But I think that this committee could take a look at having taken some type of action even ahead of time to with the masking up indoors. In that, I don't know. Let you guys see if you have any ideas too. So anymore. So.
Thank you. Okay. Go ahead.
I guess I would just rather, I don't want to say wait, I know we need to nip it in the bud before it happens. Perhaps wait until, the county health department mandates something more community-wide. I don't know.
And to date, just for information, where we're at, so for me to talk about the uptick, it's not fair to maybe not then provide the information. Through Sunday, August 8th, Wood County had a total of 84 active cases. That would be up 20 from August 4th. I believe August 4th was maybe a Wednesday. So it's up 20. So I've just watched it go from 44 to 64 to 84. Positivity test rate is 7.5% as of last week. As of Friday, it was 9%. As of today, it's 9.4%. Again, their numbers and they tell us whatever it is that they tell us, but those are the numbers as they stand through Sunday evening last night. So that's where that's at. I guess also, as long as I am on a little bit of a roll, if I may continue. Mr. Rayo mentioned about the, I think, did you call it the executive or the emergency declaration? With that, if you wanted to provide any direction as a committee to the HR department or to work moving forward, you know, is there a plan in place? You know, at this point, this happens, at this point, this happens, going back to what Sherry referred to as, you know, if we do hold off, at what is the next trigger point, or where the emergency employee emergency paid leave, those types of things. You know, just something to think about moving forward in the you know, hopefully distant future, but the way it's looking, it might be in the more immediate future. So things just to keep top of mind. Thanks.
Ryan, have you had, I know not specifics, but any employees that have approached saying, you know, that they were positive or needed sick leave in the last couple of weeks?
No, not at this time. We've had a couple possibles and luckily been able to avoid that to this point, so.
I have a couple questions maybe for Attorney Schill or Ryan. It doesn't matter, whoever can. First of all, can we ask our employees who's been vaccinated?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I'm assuming if you, I mean, are you having, like, if you would do a rule to say, if you've been, I guess I'm not sure, what, for,
The question, I just, for now, the question is, can we ask if they're vaccinated or not, regardless of what we're going to do going forward?
well, if you're going forward, going to tell the world who's vaccinated or not, then I'd say, no, you can't. I guess it depends what purpose you're using it for. Are you thinking of having a mandate that everyone is vaccinated, and then at that point, then people would need to show you whether they're vaccinated or not? If you have something that says vaccinated people should wear a mask and unvaccinated people, or vaccinated people don't have to wear a mask, vaccinated people, well, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Then, you know, then you could ask people that. So, I mean, I think as a general, yes, if you're using it, right.
I'm not looking to do anything right now, but I think if we're going to be a little more proactive, then, I mean, these are some things we're going to have to start thinking about. I guess the next question is can this committee, can we require masks? I mean, we can probably take this to the council, but it's just for the employees, correct? It wouldn't be, we have no jurisdiction over the building itself. Am I wrong?
Well, well, eventually this is going to go to council, so I would say that I think the committee does somewhat in that it's in much the same way you're dictating or you're mandating your employees to do something, you, in that same vein, to keep them safe, that you're not, you know, people that come and interact with them, you're having rules regarding who can be in the building or what, you know, whether they need to be masked or not. So, I mean, it's kind of an employee issue, but since this is all going to council anyways, and probably will be part of either some type of an emergency declaration or something to that effect, you know, it's, whether that's, I mean, the council certainly can do that, whether you want to recommend that in addition or something regarding the buildings or the public. I mean, I guess that would be for the council to determine what they wanted to do with that more so than the employee issue.
Back to Mr. Hartman, we had a brief conversation last week about the possibility of remote work and the possibility of giving some of that discretion to department heads. Any thoughts?
Yes, the department heads that I've spoke to, preference would be that it would be from from the top, yep,
Okay.
decision and not leave it in the hands because you could have, different, yeah. So, all or nothing.
Is there a policy in place now? We have remote policy? Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess as of right now, the other thing I think we need to think about is we extended 10 days to our employees. I don't know if we want to act on this tonight or not, but I think where we're at with that is if we're going to extend that 10-day COVID leave again, I would think there has to be, I think our employees are going to have to use up their accrued leave before we extend that. And I don't know that we necessarily, we should probably get started with this now. So as part of this, I would, as part of the motion, I would recommend or make a motion that our employees be given 10 more days of COVID leave after they use their accrued leave. I think as far as the rest for right now, I'm willing to go along with the health department's recommendations if we're not. I think for now that's enough. The other thing is the emergency powers for the mayor. I don't think it's a bad idea then possibly that this committee recommends to the council that we reinstate those powers. Can we do this possibly the end of the quarter, the end of the year? Will we be doing it month by month? Okay. Right. Well, and if this turns out that, they get a handle on this and it's not an issue, it won't be an issue. All right, to the end of the year. So I guess I'll make a motion to extend it. Go ahead, sorry. Sue.
Oh, yeah, I had a question on when you said what Wood County is saying. I don't understand what that means.
I think we should follow the guidelines of the health department.
So vaccinated and unvaccinated all wear masks in,
Not yet.
well, that's what they're,
Well,
I guess.
I think we
I
can
would-
hold off on that a little bit. Ryan.
Okay,
Ryan,
I just wanted to be clear
Okay.
what that meant.
okay.
I think because Wood County is saying that, they're not going to do local orders. They haven't in the past, and they're not going to. So this is as strong as it gets from them of this is what
Right.
you should be doing. So,
You're not wearing masks in the courthouse, are you?
oh, you meant that like the county, what they're doing for the county employees?
Yes.
Or what the health department is saying?
What the county health department is doing with their
Oh, okay, all right.
Sorry about that.
All right, I got it.
Okay, so I guess I'd like to make a motion with two parts. One is extend the emergency leave after all their accrued leave is used up, and the second part is to extend the emergency powers again for the mayor.
Just a quick question on that. Oh,
Yep, you go ahead, you might have the same question.
in that motion, would you prefer I retype up and have something submitted for the council then to vote on? So they saw the document and both of those documents in front of them, the prior emergency leave declaration and the employee emergency paid leave revision form? Have them both?
Yes.
Saying what you...
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Sue?
No, I can do the emergency declaration one, because I was doing that before, and so I probably just have it, I'll just change the date. And then the COVID-19, is that going to be for all of the reasons that we had before? It seemed like maybe the second round, it didn't include as many things, so like, is it childcare? Is it for their own illness? Okay, the expansive one?
Yep.
Okay.
Tom?
I don't disagree with that, but looking ahead to with the additional days and that type of thing, there again, though, we're avoiding the issue of prevention. And where we have the statistics of what there is, we're accepting after the fact of what we can do, but we're not taking action of what we could do to hopefully prevent something of masking up.
Well,
And the masking up, we do have a right, I think the city does have the right to require masking up of the employees and everybody inside, but to require that anybody that comes into a setting as this has to mask up too. That I think we have a right to do that. Private businesses doing that on their own in certain places. You don't come in if you're not masked up. Some are asking if you've been vaccinated or not. You have to show that they have that. So I think we're somewhat putting, well, now if you get sick, now you can have that, but we're not stepping up to the plate. We're not stepping up to the plate to try to prevent the getting sick.
Well, I think this is kind of proactive. We don't want to encourage sick people to come to work, and hopefully this is going to discourage some of that. If you've been exposed to a child, we don't want you here. Stay home with your sick kid until we're certain that you haven't been exposed. So I think this is a little more proactive. I understand what you're saying with the mask. I personally just don't think I'm ready to go there. If the council would like to do a mask mandate for the building again, I would certainly be willing to entertain that. And maybe we can have that as part of the discussion with the mayor's emergency powers. Shane, any thoughts?
I agree with you. I'm not ready to go that step yet either. It'll be a while before I get there, to be honest. So I guess whatever the council decides, gladly enforce internally, but I'm not ready to go there yet.
All right, I've got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Ayes have it. Anything else we need to look at in here, Ryan? All right, moving on to item number 3, an update on the wage study process. Mr. Hartman.
Thank you. Just following up again from last month, the wage study process, things really the employees and their supervisors and department heads have done a tremendous job in getting the requested information, the JDQs, job description qualifications. Those will be in the hands of the consultant as of next Monday. They will then take the next few weeks, a couple months to look at that and pull the data. We're also, one of my colleagues in the HR department is in the process of putting together, pulling the master file list for the consultants to have so that they have the most up-to-date, current, and accurate information on each employee that this study will encompass, along with the most current vacancies and openings as well. So that's where that's at as of today, and things have been going to date, better than I had probably hoped or expected. The employees have stepped up in a big way, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Any questions? Tom, questions? Mayor? All right, I don't think we need to take action on that, correct? All right, we'll move on to item number 4. The committee will vote to go into closed session under section 19.85(1)(e) Wisconsin statute, which reads, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or the conducting of other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. A, in closed session, the committee will discuss negotiation and bargaining strategy for labor negotiations with IAFF and WRPPA. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session?
I'll second. There's a motion and a second to go into closed session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. And with that, we will go into closed session.